Hello, my friends, and welcome to a Brotato Nightmare random run, where we take a random character using a random weapon on a random map and try to beat Nightmare mode with it. Hope you're all doing well. As you can see, after the beta, it has reset my victories, so to fill out this character screen with Nightmare mode wins, we need to play on it with every character on every map. What better way to do that than a random character challenge? We got the Lucky here, and we're going to roll and see what weapon we've got. Okay, Lucky with Flute. Flute is one of the hardest weapons in general for random character challenges, random weapon challenges. Now, the Lucky does have a bunch of base luck, which makes it a little bit easier, but this weapon attacks really slowly and does not do very much damage, making it somewhat difficult to clear, even on Danger 5 with the Flute. And on Nightmare mode, that's going to be even more pronounced. So we'll see how this works out. I'll definitely take the Peaceful Bee. It does decrease my Flute damage a little bit, because Flute does scale with 50% of your ranged damage, so we lose half a damage, but we have 100 luck, 125 starting luck, so we're okay in that sense. So I'm going to take the Peaceful Bee. It's a great find here. We'll buy a Flute, lock another Peaceful Bee. I'll ban the Dynamite. It doesn't do anything. Sometimes you'll see people assuming that the Lucky passive counts as an explosion. It does not. I'm going to roll here, and we'll take a Flute. I do want effects like Baby Gecko in order to pick up extra materials. Is Alien Tongue worth grabbing? I think it probably is. Picking up materials is so hard on Nightmare mode because of the environmental projectiles, and again, we're playing on full environmental projectiles. And, of course, just because the enemies are faster and hit harder. So having extra ways to do that is really important. We won't be charming anything for a long time, because the base damage on these flutes is so high, we just won't get any charm for a while. But we are getting extra luck from the musical weapon tag. We should hopefully get a decent number of crate drops for that reason. I'll take the lens when it shows up for free. You much prefer to scale the damage of your flutes with luck rather than with range damage, especially on the Lucky, who buys luck at an improved rate. But for only 6 materials, half a damage on each weapon is totally fine. And then I'm going to roll here. I'll take 5 harvesting. Buy a Flute. I will not be able to buy another Flute if I roll into one. This is one of the problems with this weapon. One reason it's such a weak weapon is that it's really expensive. But I need to roll here. I now have a choice of buying Peaceful Bee, which could get me 4 extra harvesting, or rolling for another Flute. It's more important that I lock a weapon on wave 2 while we still have 2 guaranteed weapons in every shop. So we're going to wait to buy the Peaceful Bee until next wave and make sure that we have a Flute locked. I will say, I think that the Abyss is probably easier for this character weapon combo than Crash Zone, slightly. Because Flute is pretty good at some of the more dangerous enemies on the Abyss. Like, you can charm the Hatchers, and then they can clear the entire wave for you. That kind of thing. Whereas a lot of the really difficult waves on Crash Zone are things like Wave 9 or now Wave 6, which are just lots of enemies with low health that you can't charm effectively. And a roll here, and I could take 5 luck, but let's keep picking up a little bit more harvesting. We'll buy a Flute, buy a Peaceful Bee, buy an Alien Tongue. I don't think that the Ratzilla is something that we're interested in. This character does do a lot of splash damage, obviously the Lucky, when you have a % chance to deal damage. But when you pick up materials, that damage is randomly spread around the map. But Ratzilla is really expensive, so I'm just going to ban it here, get our free reroll. We'll definitely take a Gentle Alien. We'll ban Charcoal. And then I'm going to roll again, and this is exactly what I was hoping for. We really needed to lock more flutes. Have to get your full weapon set online. This is a weapon that you want to level up, and it's expensive and hard to find, so it can be difficult to do that. All right, we did get a charm there, which is great. I also am going to, and yeah, you can see that charmed enemy is doing so much work. We didn't charm the Lamprey, which I was hoping to. It's going to be really hard to avoid picking up Curse, since our damage is dealt somewhat randomly. You can see there, we just got a point of Curse. So I'll probably try to get Curse where possible. It does... Curse is really tough for the Lucky to deal with, because your passive works less well when enemies have higher health. But hopefully we get powerful Curse items to make up for it. I'm going to start taking luck over harvesting at this point, and I will take 3 regen as well. We will then buy these items and do a reroll, lock a flute, and head injury and plant, both great items as well. I'd love to ban a bunch of level 1 items, because a few of the things that we're really looking for are, of course, Baby Elephant and Baby Gecko to help our passive. And we're also really looking for Sharp Bullet. That's maybe the #1 item for us. Flute does not have inherent piercing, and so it can really struggle with large groups of enemies. Especially, weirdly, when you have high base damage on it, like this, because normally the way that a charm build deals with large groups of enemies is by charming one, and then because enemies have splash damage, they'll usually clear out the rest of them. But that doesn't work here. I'll take the Goblet. I think that it does cost me 3 regen, but this is an okay way to heal. It's a little worse because we have Charm, and so we're often going to be charming enemies instead of killing them, but I think that it's okay to pick it up there. And then here, I'm going to reroll, and I could take 2 armor. We definitely need that. I could take 8 harvesting and get that going sooner. I could roll for luck. Let's just pick up 2 armor so that we don't die. We will be just short of picking up all of these items, but let's buy the plant. And I'm doing that because if I rolled into a level 1 flute, I wanted to be able to buy it. We rolled into a level 2 flute, which I'm not complaining about. And I'm going to roll one more time here. We'll ban mutation. Yes, it provides ranged damage, but I really want to ban a bunch of level 1 items in order to make the ones that we're really looking for more likely to appear. We could also, on the Lucky, ban level 2 items to try to get more Cyber Balls and treasure maps. I think that that's a reasonable option as well. But overall, I think that banning level 1 items is just going to be a little smoother. And it's right on basically every character to ban level 1 items, so trying to get too fancy with it can just make things overly complicated. I am glad that I picked up that alien tongue. You can see we're leaving a lot of materials on the ground still. All right, fixing our attack speed, definitely something that we do have to prioritize. The saltwater is an okay start to that. I could take a level 3 lifesteal and get positive lifesteal. With negative attack speed, the 3% lifesteal isn't amazing though, so I think I'm going to reroll here. And yeah, I'll just take 2 armor. That's fine. We will buy all of these items, and then I'm just going to ban the Rip and Tear for a free reroll. We're not interested in buying it, so the reroll is good. I'll take a coil. I think that that's fine for this weapon, and we do need more % damage. And then I'm going to roll here. Okay, perfect. We got Coffee, we got Ritual. These are both sets of stats that we're pretty interested in, and a Cursed Shady Potion. That's incredible. If I lock the Dock Moth, I don't think that we'll have enough money to buy all 3 of these items next wave, so we won't be able to ban it for a free reroll anyways, so we're just going to go to wave 7 here. Oh yeah, banning level 1 items is also good because we can get scars, and this character has an XP gain penalty, so XP gain items are a really high priority as well. We haven't gotten a lot of the most important level 1 items. We're also really low on health, so there's a long way to go here. I killed the goblin shark, but the walrus is still active. Okay, we charmed it. That'll help a lot, because now it's going to go clear a bunch of enemies for us. And I can pick up a bunch of these materials and keep the rest of the wave clean, hopefully. With 4 armor, I'm in slightly better shape, but I can still die really fast if I start taking hits, so I need to do my best to avoid that. Ooh boy. Okay, Peacock is really interesting. Wave 8 is the next wave. It's not a darkness wave or anything. I think I have to take it, but I could easily die if I take a hit from anything, basically, with the increased damage. take the Shady Potion, we'll take the Flute, and do I want Coil more or Ritual more here? If I buy Ritual, I have a chance to reroll. Coil gives me 6% damage, which is fine, but so does Ritual. So let's buy the Ritual here, and then we'll roll. I will then lock all of these items. Alright, so I have to have nigh perfect movement this wave because it's a Peacock wave, so any hits I take are going to be lethal very quickly. I might die in one hit with only 20 health. So we're going to try not to walk into too many enemy attacks. I'm really hoping that we can charm something. Unfortunately, the blobfish is... Okay, we charmed a goblin shark. That's a good unit to charm. It'll help me clear some stuff out. Yeah. So unfortunately, the blobfish and the lampreys are putting a lot of pressure on us here. All right, I didn't die in one hit. That's good. I'm going to try to heal back up. We have been heavily prioritizing armor, so that helped keep me alive there. And I got that dodge. I wouldn't have died without the dodge because we still had iframes, so I wouldn't have taken 2 hits there. But obviously, the dodge was nice, the 8% dodge. So that was great. Fixing our XP gain on this character is one of the easiest ways to boost your economy. Going into wave 9, can I afford to buy the Weird Ghost? I think I can't afford not to. So I'm going to pick that up. I will take 6 more maximum health. I could buy 5 luck or 1 armor, but let's roll here, and I'll take 9 movement speed, and then 15 luck. I could roll for armor. My max health is a little better. I could also roll for healing, given that I have Weird Ghost, and I do want more healing. Let's just take the luck, though. We are playing the lucky, we're playing flutes, so all of those stats are really important. Do some weapon combinations here, and we'll buy the beanie still, even though I've increased my movement speed. This coil stayed locked for a long time, and that's an indication that maybe I should not have been interested in it, because it's only an okay item. Okay, so I think I actually... I didn't realize you could do this. When I stepped on that egg as it was spawning, I caused it to reappear somewhere else. When you step on a red X, as it's spawning, the enemy doesn't disappear, it just respawns somewhere else randomly on the map. So stepping on the friendly egg as it was spawning when I charmed the hatcher, I actually delayed the slasher spawning for a little bit by causing it to reappear and then, you know, go through its spawning animation. That's a cool strategy and one that I really had not investigated previously. I need to keep that in mind, because being able to delay friendly spawns until more enemies have spawned is actually really powerful. Alright, I left a ton of materials on the ground there. Didn't get that loot alien kill, but we did survive. I'll recycle the fuel tank. Community support, I think is good here. I just need all the attack speed that I can get. And then I'm going to reroll, and I'm going to buy dodge as well. I do want armor, but we already have 8% dodge from the double Peaceful Bee. So we can build dodge, I think, fairly effectively on this character. And then I'm going to buy these 2 items. I don't have consumable heal, and consumable healing is pretty important. But the cursed alien worm, obviously, we're going to take. I'll ban Hedgehog, and I'll ban Eye Surgery for a free reroll. And here I am going to... I think I'm buying all of these items. Even though we have Coil and the Whetstone knockback reduction, costs me 3% damage. Whetstone's still so good. But let's buy this, and I'll buy the Alien Tongue first, and then lock these 2 items. And then I'm going to reroll once. Recycling Machine is pretty good on the Lucky. I've actually been much less impressed with this item on Nightmare mode, but I think on the Lucky, where we obviously drop a lot of crates because our luck is really high, it's going to be a little better. 0 cyber balls, 0 baby elephants so far, though some of that is because, you know, I had a coil locked for a really long time, stuff like that. So it's not just bad luck, it's also play decisions. Now, I believe that community support still counts your charmed allies as enemies to give you the attack speed when you are playing a charm build, but I'm not 100% sure about that. If anyone does know, of course, clarify in the comments. One thing that is nice about charm builds on Nightmare is the charmed units actually kill faster on Nightmare than they do on lower difficulties because of how the damage scaling works. Basically, they get a 20% boost compared to Danger 5 on their damage and health, but because a charmed unit does triple damage, that 20% damage boost is worth more than the 20% health boost in terms of killing enemies, so the charmed units actually kill faster. I will increase my pickup range even further, and we'll take 10 harvesting. It cost me dodge, which is a real cost since we're trying to build dodge, but the frog there I think is still good, and here I will just build 6 dodge, and then I'll take 15 luck. Alright, this is where things get kind of tough. I am going to buy all of these items. I'll just ban Strange Book for a reroll again. I'll pick up a plant here, and I'll roll, and I'll pick up a flute. Obviously, can't buy a scarf going into a horde, going into an elite wave. Scared Sausage doesn't do anything for this build either. Do I want defective steroids? I badly need max health, and costing attack speed is a real penalty, and it's a pretty inefficient way to buy max health, but I think given that I have 39 going into an elite wave, I just have to buy it. And then here we'll lock all of these items, because these are all very solid. So I think I might be able to kill the elite, even though our attack speed's really low. We have the lucky passive, and we will hopefully have some charmed enemies, and our damage per shot is really high. So I think I can try to kill the elite here. Now, the way that we're going to go about doing that is waiting for more enemies to spawn and get charmed, and then we'll be able to hopefully turn that into damage to the elite. Alright, does not look like I'm going to be able to kill the elite, which is fine. As long as I survive this wave, I'm pretty happy, because this is a very, very difficult wave. The first elite on the Lucky is always really challenging. Flutes are very bad at fighting elites as well, so if we make it through, then I'm thrilled, and we did. Do I want this wheelbarrow? I don't know that I can afford to reduce my armor any further. We also have recycling machines, so we get 60 materials. I think I actually have to recycle here. Obviously, that feels really bad. It's a very powerful item, but losing armor is so dangerous at this point in the run. And I'm taking Spyglass because I think the range is actually not horrible. I'll lock Pearl and Flute, and I will do one more reroll here. Okay, I'll take a Curse Pocket Factory because it's extra tree spawns and 5 curse. The actual Pocket Factory turrets will not be that big a deal, but the additional tree and the extra curse are really solid economy. Okay, I need to... I forgot that this was the Cursed Hatcher, or the Enhanced Hatcher wave, so I need to make sure that I have charmed that guy. Now, once we've done that, we spawn a lot of pretty powerful units to be on our side. I also managed to get a charmed lamprey there, which was really nice as well. I have to stay away from the blobfish because I don't want the lampreys to spawn on top of me. I'm going to take one hit in order to try to pick up some of those materials before the end of the wave, because this is getting... We're leaving a lot on the ground here. Okay, we'll take another alien tongue. I will re-roll here. With 270 luck, I feel like I can usually get a level 3 upgrade if I roll for it. Do I want regen or armor or max health? I'll just take the level 3 upgrade. We'll buy the economy items, we'll combine and buy a flute, and then I will re-roll, lock another flute. Sad Tomato, I'm definitely taking. I don't think I want to buy Little Frog at full price, though. Oh, nice. We got a charmed blobfish there. The enhanced pufferfish are pretty dangerous, but at least when a charmed unit kills them, they only get the melee explosion and not the ranged explosion. I really need more consumable heal as well. Obviously, on the Lucky, that's a big component of your healing, and we decreased ours. But at least my damage is still keeping up okay. Okay, we got the Hatcher charmed. Did they add piercing to Flute? Am I misremembering? Was there a buff that they added piercing to Flute? Let me check that. No, they did not. Okay. It just looked like they were piercing, and I was paranoid for a second that I'd forgotten one of the patch notes. Okay, we've got Fairy here. Incredible find, the Cursed Fairy, and obviously now we're gonna take every level 1 item. Glasses is great here. We have Coil, and we do have the Cursed Pocket Factory, so the engineering isn't totally irrelevant, and this is only minus 3% damage, but I think we'd still rather just 60 materials here. And then I'm going to roll for armor. Have to increase my armor at this point. The Cursed Fairy, obviously amazing, so the fact that we built Curse has really paid off in this run, I have to say. We'll take the Flute, we'll take the Lucky Charm, and we'll take the Plant. And I'll leave Sad Tomato locked still. Cauldron, a Cursed Cauldron, a great find here. I have tons of regen, so I think I can get away with buying the Fruit Basket as well. This Horde Wave, I'm very concerned about. We don't have Piercing Shots or any form of AoE damage other than Charm. And it's easy for our passive to just splash damage to enemies that aren't near us, and you know, then we just get overwhelmed. Especially on the Lucky, who has really slow attack speed. So I'm hoping that we get at least a couple of those Mantis Shrimp charmed, but I am going to start taking a lot of damage as I move away at this point. The Cursed Fairy definitely is what's keeping me in this run. We're going to take a hit here. Okay, nice. I got a lucky dodge there as well. I mean, they don't call this character the Lucky for nothing. I played this pretty badly, actually. I did not pay attention to the fact that we had a Horde Wave, and I needed to figure out some better solution for the Horde Wave than I had. I was building kind of to kill elites and to survive those. And we got a little bailed out by the Cursed Fairy there. I might have lived anyways, but it would not have been anywhere near as clean without that, obviously. We'll take Retromation's Hoodie. That fixes my attack speed. That's great. We'll recycle the Dock Moth. I am going to take the Acid here. It does cost me some attack speed and some damage because we have Hoodie and Coil, but my max HP is terrible. And a roll here, and roll again and take 15 luck. And then we'll buy more cursed items, Sad Tomato. Just buying everything here. Okay, nice. Broken Mouth and Bat, those are also 2 unique items, or new items for Fairy. Actually, I should have bought the Bat, locked the Broken Mouth, and then I could have re-rolled again. I think I don't need the Ritual here anymore. I'm really just looking for more attack speed, more dodge at this point. Dodge and armor, but dodge especially, since we have Retromation's Hoodie. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stand on... no, I needed to stand on the X before the actual egg appeared in order to reset the spawn, I think. Maybe I could have done it anyways. I need to, like, experiment more with that. But basically, I wanted to stand on the spawn there in order to lengthen the time that I had the cursed, or the enhanced slashers on my side. So, yeah, let's stand on the X as this egg hatches. And then it's going to respawn somewhere else, and we gain like an extra second with an enhanced slasher on our side. That I don't think was, you know, the optimal way to play that or anything, but I'm experimenting with that tech, because I think that that is a cool thing that we can do. Okay, well, we do have a lot of curse, and we're probably going to find some curse flutes, but this character also does not care about curse at all, so, or doesn't really care about leveling its weapons at all at this point, so the curse knot is pretty powerful. I think and obviously it's incredibly powerful, it's just an absurdly strong item. That being said, I think I'm strong enough at this point that we can avoid taking Knot in case we get a cool legendary or something like that. But obviously, as always, if you're trying to maximize your win rate, you just take the Knot there. And a roll here and take 3 armor. And then we'll pick up the Bat for even more regeneration. And we'll re-roll here. I don't really care about crit chance, but I am going to buy Ugly Tooth. Terrified Onion costs me a lot of luck, but is also worth 2 regeneration. And we don't hate having the move speed, and we can rebuy the luck with the propeller hat anyways. We'll buy a Shady Potion. I have no crit chance. I'm not going to bother with Lucky Coin, because we don't really want to build crit anyways. And then here, I think I am going to take another Defective Steroids. It doesn't give me regen, and it costs attack speed, but my max HP and armor... max HP, armor, and dodge are the only stats we really care about at this point. That and things like Baby Elephant or Cyberball we would obviously take very highly as well. If I just get to like 80 max HP and 20 more dodge or so, it's going to be very hard to lose this run. So just prioritizing that over everything else is the most important thing here. Knot is such a funny item because it really puts... The only downside is that it decreases potential fun later on. It will never make it harder to win if you buy Knot. People will always, because the item because it's an anti-fun item and people don't like that, you're going to see a lot of people be like, well, look at this cursed flute, you know, all of that sort of thing. And, you know, people always want to find justifications for why it's not good from a win rate perspective, but it's really just that they don't like buying it, which is the same reason that I'm not buying it. But it is always good from a win rate perspective. And a reroll here, and reroll again, and I'll pick up the Clover. We definitely want more dodge and more luck, of course, and Poisonous Tonic is great as well. Do I want the Boiling Water? It's 2 more regeneration for 100. I think we can afford to skip on that. I was going to do 1 reroll there, but... or I did 1 reroll there, but we didn't roll into anything else. Good. But it is always funny when games have something in them that's like... causes players to have to evaluate victory versus fun. Because players will engage in so much motivated reasoning just to avoid saying, wow, I almost died by walking into all those attacks. That was very bad. Just to avoid saying, I don't want to buy this item because it's not fun for me. And it's really interesting that people think that I just want to have fun is somehow, you know, morally less than saying, I think that this is actually good, and so will kind of twist themselves into not trying to figure out ways in which it could actually be good. No pun intended. I did almost throw away the run there, though, which would have been embarrassing after passing on the knot, because, of course, if we have the knot, there's no chance we lose there. I'll take a Pearl here. Ball and Chain. How fast are my weapons attacking? Way within the Ball and Chain minimum, so we are going to pick this up. More armor, super important. Bonk Dog, I'm going to recycle. I will take a Gambling Token. I want as much dodge as we can get, and we'll take Feather for the same reason. We'll buy a Schmoop as well. And then I have huge amounts of percent damage from our Pearls, so I don't really need to buy more percent damage. I could take 3% dodge, but I feel like I can do better. And I could take 10% attack speed or 15 luck as well. Let's just take 15 luck here. But I guess the bit that I'm going for with that discussion is, don't be afraid to say, I want, especially in a single player game, don't be afraid to say, I just want to do this thing because it's more fun. I'm gonna combine the flutes here and buy this level 1 flute, and then I can still buy the level 4 and combine into a cursed level 4. Then I am gonna roll one more time, and we'll lock a gambling token and buy another flute. Good rolls there. My attack speed is now high enough, and my damage is strong enough that we can kill the elite really easily. This run would be so much easier if we had found any form of piercing shots or a single other luck-based damage item. The Lucky is also significantly more likely to find Baby Elephant and Cyberball in a shop, so the fact that we haven't is very bizarre. I will take the Ashes. The 100 range is actually quite relevant because we lost our range to Retromation's hoodie. I'll take the Seashell as well. And do I want the Cursed Incendiary Turret? Buying Curse is good, but I think at this point I'd rather just have the money because we won't have enough time to find more cursed items reliably with that extra 3 points of Curse. Here I'm just going to take 2 armor. And then we are going to buy Metal Plate and Gambling Token and leave this level 4 Flute locked. The level 4 Flute is just so expensive. I'm going to buy Bag. It's -1 movement speed, but it's just +2 regen, and maybe we get, we probably get most of the money back, because we're probably getting a few crates next wave. And we'll buy Schmoop as well, because I need more maximum health. And then these two are probably going to be all the money that we have next wave, so no need to reroll to try to lock something else. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but something really funny just apparently happened to my partner in Final Fantasy. Whenever she is playing Final Fantasy, every 20 minutes or so, someone really messes up in one of the boss fights, and I hear a lot of laughing through the wall. This wave is very simple. We have a ton of regeneration, so we're able to just let our passive and flutes clear it all. All right, we got 45 materials back from the bag. Obviously, it didn't pay for itself, but it also gave me 2 regeneration for very cheap. I'll take the Loot Worm just for 2 regen. Of course, we'll take a pearl. This is our second full price pearl. We've found 1 pearl from the passive. From the Pearl ability, but 2 as just normal items in crates. And then here, let's go ahead and combine, buy a level 4 flute, buy a flute upgrade, and I guess I'll buy the Insanity as well, and we'll re-roll just for fun, and another Insanity. That'll help us kill the bosses a little faster. Our Cursed Flute does have 1.8x crit chance, and the others have 1.5x, but the damage is so high that the crit chance is still reasonably efficient. I would rather have had the leather vest, of course, but we didn't know that that was coming. And then let's go to wave 20 here and see if we make it through our first Nightmare or Random challenge. Now, I probably will not be doing a full 124 character rotation like I did for Danger 5. I think that on Nightmare there are too many combos that are unplayable. to make random challenges like appealing to do for all of them. But as I get better at the game, it's very possible that the number of combos that I think are unplayable decreases a lot, and we might end up doing it. So I'll definitely be doing more of these, but I'm gonna say this is not the start of a full rotation yet. But we got there with the lucky, and of course this was a good weapon roll, and we got some really lucky items, which is appropriate for the character. Most notably, a cursed fairy, I mean, is just ridiculously strong. And so, of course, we did really well in a run where we got that. It's worth 47 regeneration, which is absurd. We got a cursed shady potion as well, one of the best items we could find for this character super early. Gave me extra luck and extra curse. I did have that one scare there because I refused to buy the knot, and we got one cursed flute, but obviously run would have been easier if I bought the knot. Recycling machine for 300 materials, so even in this case, on a character that benefits from it, it was good. I'm happy I bought it, but it wasn't amazing. Spyglass, I shouldn't have bought Spyglass. On Nightmare mode, you just have less money overall, so this type of raw economy item is typically worse, and it was kind of in the middle. We also ended up buying a lot of really expensive items later on. We were kind of in the middle of the run when we found the Spyglass. We also just ended up buying a lot of really expensive items later on, so Spyglass was worse. But this was a fairly weak purchase here. 4 pearls, obviously ridiculous. We had 200% damage as a result of those. Pocket Factory was pretty solid. We have no way of knowing how much damage the turrets did because we don't have a turret. Retrimation's Hoodie, of course, for fixing our attack speed completely. The early Peacock was also very good because I survived, and so it's just an excellent find for this character. Only one bonus item from Treasure Map, definitely underperforming there. We had 43% dodge, the seashell was nice at the end, and bag ended up giving me 90 materials, but only 45 of those mattered. Alright, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato, Nightmare Mode, and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.